This is Chi with Chinese Pod. Right now, I live in New York City, and so a few weeks ago, I was on this ride on an Uber.
New York is blessing, man.
Yeah.
Some have good soul here, you know.
Yeah.
New Yorkers drink Corona beer, you know.
Yeah.
That's why I say coronavirus don't come here.
Yeah. And we spoke too soon. As of the date of this recording, New York State has become the epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. Having said that, my experience in New York might be very similar to what you're experiencing right now too. I was in Manhattan, New York's Chinatown the other day. It's obviously really bleak. There's just a few cars. Really there isn't a lot of people. Right now I'm going to my favorite Chinese restaurant. I wanted to order takeout, which is something you could still do in New York City.
不好意思，那个卖没了，没有了。这水饺，
水饺是白菜还是？
韭菜，你要白菜为，还有白菜没有。
So the frozen dumplings they have, they already sold out one of the flavors. Now it's my turn.
你要什么？
水饺可以吗？一份带走了。
没有煮的。
没有煮的。
对啊，我们已经关掉两三天了。
哦 ，OK。
今天我是修铁门过来的。
哦，好。So he said he was just here because he was fixing the door of the restaurant, and as some customers came in, he just sold whatever he's got at the store, and no hot food. Can I get a small flat white?
What's your name?
Chi, C-H-I. Thank you. So I guess you could still get a Starbucks. Ooh. It's not quite the movie starring Will Smith, I Am Legend, which also took place in New York City. Not that level yet, but it's indeed really bleak. The Chinese word I would use is perhaps 渺无人烟. It's really deserted. That's the word. So again, it's 渺无人烟. And in the Will Smith movie, I Am Legend, it's just his dog and himself with his gun trying to kill all these mutants, these zombies, in an empty New York City. And if it was that 渺无人烟 back then, there's no need for the film crew to clear up streets of New York City to film. Now here comes my trip to the supermarket. Can I go to Trader Joe's?
Trader Joe's, yeah. There's a line over on Gold Street to come in the store. It's not that bad. We're just going fast.
Yeah, all the food courts are closed, and right now I'm just in Trader Joe's and trying to get. We like to use the word stockpile, and maybe I'm stockpiling too. Yeah. I would use that word. The Chinese word to use here is túnhuò, and so if we tun goods, then we stockpile. Basically, the word for goods is 货品. 货品, so we 囤货. I think this word is kind of it's kind of lighthearted as well. I mean, you can say 储备, 物资, but 囤货 is much more casual, and it's the trendy word right now. Hashtag 囤货. And obviously everything is empty in this store, but all the pasta's gone, and the rice is gone. I guess I could get some bread. And there's no chicken, there's no pork. All that's left is just steak, some more expensive meat. And tell you what, there's no garlic either. And what's more iconic than the New York subway? Oh wow, it's really empty. It's 7 o'clock in the evening.
There's an archery around across the platform.
On a Tuesday. And you can hear that. The sound of silence. Just the sound of the trains.
Let's work together to keep New York up.
Another announcement telling you to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds or use hand sanitizers. The train is still not even half empty. The situation I'm describing is also happening in many parts of the world. Chinese pods Elsha has also came back from Hong Kong.
You see, Hong Kong is a very dense place.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of population, every moment you're on the street, you are generally surrounded by people.
Yeah.
Like literally your shoulder against shoulder with somebody. A closeness and that kind of human contact. At one point, it was something that we all cringed at and we feel, oh, I wish Hong Kong is less crowded.
Yeah.
We hate the crowdedness or, as it was. But nowadays, when you walk on the street and you just are, it really feels like a ghost town, especially because schools are closed. A lot of services let people work at home.
Yeah.
Our usual sense of human contact is very much changed, and just like back in SARS. And so we always refer to the SARS time.
Now everyone is talking about the word social distancing, 社交距离, with 社交 meaning social and 距离 meaning distance. The verb to use here is 保持 to keep, 保持社交距离. 17 years ago in 2003, the severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS, first broke out in Guangdong province in China. Back then, in many cities in China, schools and many businesses had to be shut temporarily, just like what is happening right now. Apart from lessons regarding keeping a social distance, as well as personal hygiene, China also learned its lesson of having resilience.
And it is helpful, I would have to say. I mean, when an epidemic or when a tragedy or something bad, really bad, that happens to a city, any experience in the past that can be learned is good.
Yeah.
So in that way, we feel, okay, the last strike, we survived, and we think we can survive this one too. We will have the spirit. We want the spirit. We know that we can. I mean, there's a spirit of human strength.
COVID-19 first emerged in Wuhan, China, and Wuhan is the capital of the Hubei province. I've been to Wuhan myself, and it's a beautiful city. And really, Wuhan shouldn't be associated with COVID-19 as much as it should be associated with its beautiful scenery and delicious food. huánghèlóu, Yellow Crane Tower, anyone? And règānmiàn, their signature noodle dish. And here I was talking to Shun, who is from Hubei, and she studied in Wuhan during her undergraduate studies. So Shun, you're from Hubei province. Where in Hubei are you from?
I'm from Jinmen.
And that's in Chinese, Jingmen, right?
Yes, it's in the central of Hubei province.
Central
but
Hubei
very
province.
near Wuhan. And near Jingzhou. Actually, Jingzhou is an old city, although it's not my hometown. But yeah, we have the same first word, Jing.
Jing, yeah.
Jing.
It's historically very important. Back in the, I think, Three Kingdoms.
And I studied at Wuhan for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all my friends and teachers are in Wuhan right now.
Yeah.
Well, at first, I have to say that they didn't realize it's a really big problem, especially when this virus has not spread so nationwide and international. They feel like, okay, maybe just stay at home and for 15 days and everything will be okay. And then they realize it's not.
Bear in mind that COVID-19 really broke out around the time of 2020's Chinese New Year, which we normally also call Chūnjié, Spring Festival.
And since it's the Spring Festival, like all the people, they work at other cities, they have to go back to their hometown.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of transportation between province and province. So it's more easily to get infected, to get this virus spread around this country.
What are your family doing right now, staying at home, having been locked out?
To be honest, I don't know.
Okay.
But I contacted with my friends like every day. They are in the WeChat group. We communicate every day, and because it's really boring of staying at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they really want to go outside They really want the freedom. I heard some family, they just watch TV every day. Yeah. Have nothing to do. And I think it's a time for people to reconsider what they are doing every day. Like, if suddenly you have nothing to do, then you feel very boring, and you realize you have nothing to do if you cannot communicate with others. Like when you stay by yourself, what you can do. And for some people, they can communicate a lot with their family. Yeah. Like they get together all the day. Yeah. And for a long time. And well, some people, they realize they cannot get very along well with their family. Yeah. And I think it's a really good opportunity to learn how to stay with yourself, how to communicate with your own self, how to play by yourself. Yeah. Like people are lonely, but we always have to face this loneliness by ourselves.
Yeah. I think once this situation is over, then they probably discovered a little bit more meaning to their daily lives, whether to their work or to their relationship with other people, family and friends. And yes, without having to stay at home and keep a social distance with each other, we'd never know how much a hug means to us with people we love.
My mom used to have a bad temper, and I can feel that she is really thinking about it's all not big deal. All of these arguments, all of these problems in life, they're not big deal, because when we're facing death, it's like living, and living fully is the most important thing. And appreciate and cherish what you own is important.
We only realize how fortunate we are when we are in
when we see other people suffer.
When we see other people suffer, when we are in a
then we know that we really have the good
really,
of we really have it good. We really have it good. We need to treasure. We need to treasure. We need to cherish. We need to be thankful.
When we think about those miserable things, those 苦难 hardships.
Yeah.
We are lucky. Most of people are lucky. Like we always thought those hardships will happen on others, or happen on the minority, on very small group of people. And on one day that really happened on yourself, you realize that you cannot say you are not lucky. It's just you are being lucky all the day, always.
If we realize how fortunate we are, then we'll know how to help those who are less so.
It's really on a personal level, this virus is just really sad. But on a collective level, we want to maintain a spirit of fight to minimize, to reduce the number of sufferings and the number of suffering cases on the individual level.
Listen to the sounds of solidarity in Wuhan, China, back in January. And listen to the wonderful music they're producing in Italy, on the balconies. And listen to the sound of the glorious applause in the nationwide tribute to the National Health Service workers in the UK.
It's a historical moment. I'm sure later on, like maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, reflect on these things. We'll be like, whew, yeah, we went through one more hurdle together.
Yeah. We can do what we can to help others who are suffering, others who don't deserve to suffer. These days, food, medical supplies, masks, I may be seen as currency that is more important than money. But what we all have, and in abundance if we want to, is love. Maybe it's just a kind regard to your family and friends, to your neighbors,
or to those who need more toilet rolls than you. At a very basic level, taking care of your personal hygiene is also a way to show your care and your love, because you're protecting yourself as well as protecting other people. And so the final word for today is 个人卫生, personal hygiene. As my Uber driver that evening put it very appropriately,
Tell them drink lots of water, wash your hands.
Yeah, of course,
and, you know, just watch who's coming close to you with the virus, you know.
Yeah.
I hope everything will be okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
God with you guys.
Yes. Thank you. Bye. Our fellow listeners, if we're united in this, we stand.